Have you ever stood in your kitchen looking at that windowsill above the sink and thought, I wish I could grow something there, but there's just no room? What if I told you that 1 foot of space is all you need to have fresh herbs at your fingertips every single day? Imagine snipping fresh basil for your pasta, or rubbing your fingers across mint leaves just to enjoy the scent. Today on No Secrets Gardening, we're creating what I call the 1 foot garden. We're going to explore 7 herbs that thrive in small pots on a sunny windowsill. These aren't just any herbs. These are the easiest, most forgiving varieties that will grow happily in tight spaces and forgive you when life gets busy. You don't need a yard. You don't need a balcony. All you need is a windowsill and the desire to bring a little green into your home. Let's get started. What makes a windowsill herb garden work? Before we meet our 7 herbs, let's talk about what these plants need to succeed. First, light. Most herbs need at least 4 to 6 hours of bright light each day. A south-facing window is ideal, but east or west-facing windows work too. If your window gets less light, don't worry. We'll talk about which herbs can handle that. Second, drainage. This is crucial. Herbs hate sitting in soggy soil. Every pot you use must have drainage holes in the bottom. If water can't escape, the roots will rot, and your plant won't survive. Third, the right pot size. For windowsill herbs, we're looking at small containers, usually 4 to 6 inches wide. That's perfect for one plant. If you have a longer windowsill, you can line up several small pots, or use one long planter with dividers. And finally, patience with yourself. Herbs are forgiving, but they're living things. Some leaves will yellow. You might overwater once or twice. That's okay. We're learning together. Number 1. Basil, the kitchen essential. Let's start with basil, because if you're only going to grow one herb, this is the one. Basil is warm, aromatic, and absolutely transformative in the kitchen. Fresh basil tastes nothing like the dried version you buy in a jar. It's sweeter, more fragrant, and it turns a simple tomato sandwich into something special. Why basil loves windowsills? Basil is actually happiest in containers. It grows quickly, doesn't need much root space, and produces leaves generously if you treat it right. How to grow it? Use a pot that's about 5 to 6 inches wide and equally deep. Fill it with regular potting soil. Plant your basil seedling or seeds and place the pot in your sunniest window. Basil needs at least 6 hours of direct sunlight. Water when the top inch of soil feels dry. Basil likes consistent moisture, but never let it sit in water. The leaves will tell you what it needs. If they droop, it's thirsty. If they turn yellow, you're overwatering. Here's the secret to bushy basil. Pinch it regularly. When the plant is about 6 inches tall, pinch off the top set of leaves. This encourages the plant to branch out instead of growing tall and leggy. Every time you see a stem getting long, pinch the tip. You'll be harvesting as you shape the plant. Quick tip: basil is an annual, which means it completes its life cycle in one season. But if you keep pinching off flower buds as they appear, you can extend its productive life for months. Number 2. Mint, the unstoppable spreader. Mint is the herb that wants to take over the world. In a garden bed, it's almost invasive. But in a small pot on your windowsill, it's perfectly contained and absolutely delightful. Mint comes in many varieties: spearmint, peppermint, chocolate mint, even apple mint. Each has its own subtle flavor, but all are easy to grow. Why mint is perfect for small spaces. Mint is nearly impossible to kill. It tolerates lower light better than most herbs, so if your window isn't the sunniest, mint will still do reasonably well. It grows quickly, and fills its pot with fragrant leaves. How to grow it? Use a pot 4 to 6 inches wide. Mint isn't picky about soil, so regular potting mix works fine. Place it in a window with at least 4 hours of light. More is better, but mint is forgiving. Water regularly to keep the soil evenly moist. Mint likes more water than most herbs, but still make sure the pot drains well. Harvest often. The more you cut, the bushier the plant becomes. Just snip stems from the top, and new growth will appear from below. Gardening fact: mint spreads through underground runners called rhizomes. In the ground, these runners travel far and wide. In a pot, they just circle around, making the plant fuller. This is why experienced gardeners always grow mint in containers. Number 3. Parsley, the reliable workhorse. Parsley might not be the flashiest herb, but it's incredibly useful and remarkably easy to grow indoors. There are 2 main types: curly parsley and flat leaf, Italian parsley. Flat leaf has more flavor and is preferred for cooking, but both grow equally well on a windowsill. Why parsley succeeds indoors? Parsley is a biennial, which means it lives for 2 years. In the first year, it produces abundant leaves. It's also more tolerant of cooler temperatures than basil, making it ideal for winter windowsill growing. How to grow it? Use a pot that's at least 6 inches deep. Parsley develops a taproot, so depth matters more than width. Parsley seeds are notoriously slow to germinate, sometimes taking 3 weeks. I recommend buying a small plant from a garden center to start with. It's much easier. Place your parsley in a window with at least 4 to 6 hours of light. Water when the top inch of soil is dry. Parsley likes evenly moist soil, but tolerates slight drying better than basil does. Harvest from the outside of the plant, taking the outer stems first. New growth comes from the center. Cut the stems at the base, near the soil line. Quick tip: parsley is rich in vitamins A, C, and K. Adding a handful of chopped fresh parsley to soups, salads, or grain bowls is an easy way to boost nutrition and flavor. Number 4. Chives, the easiest herb of all. If you're nervous about starting a windowsill garden, begin with chives. They are, without exaggeration, one of the easiest herbs you can grow. Chives have a mild onion flavor and are wonderful snipped over baked potatoes, eggs, soups, or salads. In spring, they produce beautiful purple pom-pom flowers that are not only edible, but also make your windowsill look cheerful. Why chives are foolproof? Chives are perennials, so they'll keep coming back. They tolerate a wide range of conditions, from bright light to partial shade. They don't mind if you forget to water them for a day. They're just incredibly forgiving. How to grow them? Use a pot 4 to 6 inches wide. Chives grow in clumps, so they don't need much space. Regular potting soil is perfect. Place them in a window with at least 4 hours of light. They'll be happy with more, but they adapt well to less than ideal conditions. Water when the soil feels dry an inch down. Chives are quite drought-tolerant once established. Harvest by snipping the leaves, which look like grass blades, about an inch above the soil. Use scissors or kitchen shears. The plant will send up new growth continuously. Gardening fact: chives are part of the allium family, along with onions, garlic, and leeks. That's why they have that mild, oniony flavor. The flowers are edible too. They taste like a delicate, slightly sweet onion. Number 5. Oregano, the Mediterranean favorite. Oregano is the backbone of Italian and Greek cooking. It's the herb that makes pizza taste like pizza and gives marinara sauce its depth. Fresh oregano is more pungent than dried, with a warm, slightly peppery flavor. A little goes a long way. Why oregano thrives on windowsills? Oregano is a low-maintenance Mediterranean herb. It likes things on the dry side, lots of sun, and doesn't ask for much else. It's a perennial, so it will live for years if you care for it properly. How to grow it? Use a pot 5 to 6 inches wide with excellent drainage. Oregano absolutely hates wet feet. Consider mixing a little sand into your potting soil to improve drainage. Place it in your sunniest window. Oregano wants at least 6 hours of direct light. Water sparingly. Let the soil dry out between waterings. When in doubt, wait another day. Oregano tolerates drought much better than overwatering. Harvest by snipping stems from the top, just above a set of leaves. This encourages branching and keeps the plant compact. Oregano can get woody and leggy if left untrimmed, so regular harvesting is key. Quick tip: oregano's flavor intensifies when dried. If your plant produces more than you can use fresh, hang small bundles of stems upside down in a dry, airy spot for about a week. Then strip the leaves and store them in an airtight jar. Number 6. Thyme, the compact wonder. Thyme is small, tidy, and incredibly flavorful. It's a staple in French cooking and pairs beautifully with chicken, fish, vegetables, and bread. There are many varieties of thyme: lemon thyme, caraway thyme, English thyme. But for windowsill growing, common thyme or lemon thyme are your best bets. Why thyme is ideal for tiny spaces. Thyme grows slowly and stays compact. It's a woody perennial that doesn't sprawl or demand much space. It's also drought-tolerant and prefers slightly neglectful care. How to grow it? Use a small pot, 4 to 5 inches wide, with great drainage. Like oregano, thyme is a Mediterranean herb that despises soggy soil. Place it in a sunny window with at least 6 hours of light. Water only when the soil is dry. Thyme is very forgiving if you forget to water, but it will suffer if overwatered. Harvest by snipping small sprigs from the tips of the stems. Don't cut more than 1/3 of the plant at a time. Thyme grows slowly, so be patient with it. Gardening fact: thyme has been used for thousands of years, not just for cooking, but for medicinal purposes. Ancient Egyptians used it in embalming, and Romans burned it as incense. Today, thyme essential oil is valued for its antiseptic properties. Number 7. Cilantro, the love it or hate it. Herb cilantro is polarizing. Some people adore its bright, citrusy flavor. Others say it tastes like soap, and there's actually a genetic reason for that. But if you're in the love it camp, cilantro is worth growing. Cilantro is essential in Mexican, Thai, Indian, and Middle Eastern cuisines. Fresh cilantro adds a brightness that the dried version simply can't match. Why cilantro works indoors, with a caveat. Cilantro grows quickly and produces abundant leaves in the right conditions. The caveat is that cilantro bolts, meaning it sends up flowers and stops producing good leaves when it gets too warm or doesn't get enough light. But if you keep it cool and harvest frequently, you can enjoy fresh cilantro for weeks. How to grow it? Use a pot at least 6 inches deep. Cilantro, like parsley, develops a taproot. Cilantro actually prefers cooler temperatures than most herbs, so a window that doesn't get too hot is ideal. It needs 4 to 6 hours of light, but it doesn't love intense, blazing heat. Water regularly to keep the soil evenly moist. Cilantro doesn't tolerate drying out, as well as herbs like oregano or thyme. Harvest the outer leaves first, leaving the center to keep growing. Once cilantro starts to bolt, you'll see tall stems with delicate white flowers. It's done producing good leaves. At that point, you can start a new plant from seed. Quick tip: if your cilantro bolts, don't throw it away. Let the flowers mature into seeds. Those seeds are coriander, a completely different spice with a warm, citrusy flavor. You can harvest and use them in cooking, or plant them to grow more cilantro. General care for your windowsill. Herb garden. Now that we've met all 7 herbs, let's talk about a few universal tips to keep your 1-foot garden thriving. Watering. This is where most people struggle. The key is to check the soil, not the calendar. Stick your finger into the soil up to your first knuckle. If it feels dry, water thoroughly until water runs out of the drainage holes. If it's still moist, wait. Small pots dry out faster than large ones, so check them every couple of days, especially in warm weather. Drainage. I can't stress this enough. If your pot doesn't have drainage holes, your herbs will not survive. Water must be able to escape. If you fall in love with a pot that doesn't have holes, you can often drill them yourself with a masonry bit, or use that pot as a decorative outer sleeve and keep the plant in a plastic nursery pot inside it. Fertilizing. Herbs aren't heavy feeders. Once a month during the growing season, give them a light dose of liquid fertilizer, diluted to half strength. That's all they need. Over-fertilizing can actually reduce flavor. Rotation. If possible, rotate your pots every few days so all sides of the plant get light. This keeps them growing evenly instead of leaning toward the window. Pests. Indoor herbs can occasionally attract small pests like aphids or fungus gnats. If you see tiny bugs, a gentle spray of water usually dislodges them. For fungus gnats, let the soil dry out more between waterings. They thrive in consistently damp soil. Starting fresh. Some herbs, like basil and cilantro, are annuals or short-lived. Don't feel bad about starting new plants every few months. That's just their nature. Keep seeds on hand or pick up new seedlings when you're at the store. And there you have it, 7 herbs that will turn your tiny windowsill into a productive, fragrant garden. Basil for Italian dishes, mint for tea and mojitos, parsley for everyday cooking, chives for mild onion flavor, oregano for pizza and pasta, thyme for roasted meats and vegetables, and cilantro for fresh, bright cuisine. The beauty of a windowsill herb garden is that it's always within reach. You don't have to go outside in the rain. You don't have to plan ahead. You just reach over, snip what you need, and your food is instantly better. This is gardening at its most practical and most rewarding. 1 foot of space, a few small pots, fresh herbs every day. I'd love to hear which herb you're most excited to try. Or, if you're already growing herbs on your windowsill, tell us what's working for you. Leave a comment below and share your experience with our community. And if you found this helpful, please subscribe to No Secrets Gardening so we can continue growing together. Thank you for spending this time with me. Grow calmly, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy gardening!